And I will now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Pakistan, followed by Burkina Faso. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, let me congratulate you on your election as chair of the Special Political Committee, as well as other members of the Bureau. Pakistan fully supports you and successfully guiding the work of this committee. I would also like to take this opportunity to express our appreciation to your predecessor, Ambassador Mathu Joini of South Africa, for her skillful handling of the committee's work during the last session. Pakistan appreciates the important contribution and efforts which the Special Committee continues to make to accomplish the unfinished agenda of decolonization according to the Charter and relevant resolutions of the United Nations. Since its independence, Pakistan has actively participated in and promoted the decolonization process. In accordance with the principle of self-determination enshrined in the UN Charter, in Common Article 2 of the International Covenants on Political and Economic Rights, and in Resolution 1514, the Declaration on Decolonization. Pakistan welcomes the recommendation of the Special Committee contained in its report A/79/23, requesting the Secretary General to explore innovative ways of using his good offices to advance the decolonization agenda. And we also welcome the Secretary General's commitment to implement the decolonization agenda. Madam Chair, Pakistan supports the call on the administering powers to take all necessary steps for full and effective implementation of the Declaration on the Granting of Independence to Colonial Countries and Peoples and the relevant UN resolutions. In that regard, we recall the responsibility of the administering powers to create conditions in the territories that would enable their peoples to exercise freely and without interference their inalienable right to self-determination. Madam Chair, 64 years ago, the General Assembly adopted the Declaration on Friendly Relations among States. This declaration stated that the subjection of people to alien subjugation, domination, and exploitation constitutes a denial of fundamental rights, is contrary to the Charter of the United Nations, and is an impediment to the promotion of world peace and cooperation. The validity of that declaration and the threat to international peace and security which flows from the denial of the right of self-determination is self-evident from the examples of colonialism, illegal occupation, and alien subjugation of peoples which we see around the world today. Since 1946, 80 former colonies have gained independence. However, there are peoples who are still denied the right to self-determination. Most prominent among these are the people of occupied Jammu and Kashmir and the people of Palestine. Madam Chair, Pakistan condemns the massive violation and genocide perpetrated by Israel against the people of Palestine and its aggression that is currently taking place against Lebanon. No Israeli massacre and brutality will extinguish the struggle for freedom and self-determination of the people of Palestine. Pakistan firmly believes that lasting peace in the Middle East can only be achieved through a two-state solution and the establishment of a viable, independent, and contiguous state of Palestine based on the pre-1967 borders with Al-Quds al-Sharif as its capital. Similarly, Madam Chair, India's occupation of Jammu and Kashmir is another manifestation of modern-day colonialism. The right to self-determination of the people of Jammu and Kashmir has been explicitly recognized in UN Security Council Resolution 47 of 1948 and several subsequent resolutions. These prescribe that the final disposition of the state of Jammu and Kashmir should be decided by its people through a free and fair plebiscite held under United Nations auspices. Both India and Pakistan accepted these resolutions. Under Article 25 of the UN Charter, both parties are obliged to implement these resolutions. For more than 78 years, through force and fraud, India has frustrated the implementation of these resolutions. Since 1989, India's brutal repression in occupied Jammu and Kashmir has killed over 100,000 Kashmiris. Since 5 August 2019, India has taken unilateral and illegal steps to annex occupied Jammu and Kashmir in what its extremist leaders have ominously termed as, and I quote, a final solution, unquote. Security Council Resolution 122 of 1957 provides that unilateral measures, and I quote, to determine the future shape and affiliation of the entire state of Jammu and Kashmir or any part thereof would not constitute a disposition of the state, unquote. Therefore, all unilateral actions taken by India on and after 5 August 2019 are not only illegal, but ipso facto null and void. It is quite evident, Madam Chair, that the people of occupied Jammu and Kashmir have rejected India's unilateral measures, and that is why it continues to maintain 900,000 troops in occupied Jammu and Kashmir. It is evident that the people continue to struggle for freedom and self-determination, and they have conveyed this rejection, even in the sham elections organized by India, expressing support for the restoration of their usurped rights. Madam Chair, to achieve durable peace in South Asia, the resolution of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute is essential. The onus is on India to create conditions for a dialogue to resolve the Jammu and Kashmir dispute. To this end, India must stop its human rights violations in occupied Jammu and Kashmir. It must halt and reverse the process of demographic change which it is instituting there, and it must rescind the illegal and unilateral measures imposed on and after 5 August 2019. Madam Chair, the United Nations and all its member states are bound by the Charter to promote a peaceful settlement of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute in accordance with UN Security Council resolutions and the wishes of the Kashmiri people. Pakistan will continue to promote this objective through all possible modalities provided under the UN Charter, including Articles 33, 34, and 99 of the Charter. I thank you, Madam Chair.
I thank the distinguished representative of Pakistan for his statement, and I will now give the floor